Hello friends, this is Anayat, and this is the second video on crystal skulls, outer object or inner symbol. There are a lot of reasons why the crystal skulls are popular these days. They have to do with 2012 and the Mayan calendar, the possibility of a new age. I want to get to what is the real meaning behind crystal skulls. And let's start with the crystal skulls prophecies. And these have to do with crystal skulls appearing to humanity at a place in our development when we're at a crossroads, critical choices to be made, and that if these crystal skulls were brought out and arranged in certain places at a certain time, then they would do something. They would give off an energy, maybe wisdom, maybe trigger telepathy. And cultures, including the Maya, have these prophecies, and people are actually looking for more crystal skulls to appear and to be brought together. I'd like to talk about the difference between an object and a symbol. In any spiritual traditions, there are stories or wisdom that is conveyed with certain details about a certain person, and if we look at these just as stories or just as outward things, we can change who that hero is and still not see what the core of the meaning of the message is. Objects through history that are told through different cultures. We could go ahead and change the object. Maybe the object is not a stone tablet. Maybe the object now is a crystal skull. And that thing will save us or help us out. So I'd like us to take a look at this story or this prophecy about the skulls coming together from an inner orientation. And in the West, we're particularly challenged because our culture, the way we're set up, doesn't really help us to turn inward and gain mastery over the inner world. Any great spiritual teaching that has come along, the real message has been to look in the inner world. So between the outer and the inner, the difference to me is between an object and an experience. Any great spiritual being that has come to us, they did great things, they helped us to learn how to live, but they were rooted in their own personal practice and in their message to try and tune themselves and us into the inner experience. So let's look at crystal skulls as pointers to our own inner transformation. Even just looking at a crystal, you can see it's something that's transparent. That says a lot. It has been formed over thousands or millions of years. It is a configuration now. It is something that's different than what it started out as. And in our own human transformation, this process is often talked about as the development of the rainbow body. We go from the caterpillar to the butterfly, we build up a light body or an energy body, and that comes about only because there's first an arrangement or an alignment to an inner truth. So if we go back now and look at the crystal skulls in this interpretation, the crystal skulls are pointing us to the need for an inner arrangement to bring our own pieces of our psyche and our spiritual beings together individually and collectively, to go ahead and tune in to the inner truth, to the inner beauty, to form a really strong connection within ourselves to all the aspects of our being, and then to all the beings, all the humans and all the other types of beings on the planet. Right now, the crisis for us is that we become inside out. We've taken an orientation that truth is from outside, that we trust authority figures, and that really develops an us versus them mentality. It develops materialism. It helps us to try and orient towards things, towards experiences that even numb our psychology or our experience, and that we really cut ourselves from other people and other countries. All of this is because we fail to tune and turn to the inner reality. So I think that's really the invitation from the crystal skulls. We've got to look in the mirror, see what we're doing to ourselves, see what we're doing to the planet, see how we've cut ourselves off from ourselves. Tune into the inner reality, go after the inner experience, and it's only in that way, first developing inner peace and inner security, that we can have outer peace and outer security. And that is what can lead us to a real flowering of humanity on the planet, not through outer things, not through outer ways, but through bringing this internal alignment together And I believe that's what the crystal skulls have been telling us. They've been telling us that we need to first cultivate and first weave our own inner landscape of peace. And in this way, there can be a flowering of humanity and a flowering of the kind of world that we're all looking to live in. So I invite you, friends, when you look at a crystal skull, to look at it as a symbol calling you to your own inner transformation and calling the entire planet to a kind of transformation where we can have the kind of world that we want to live in. Thank you for listening.